on This Week in Baseball. The winter wait is over as major leaguers return right, ready, and no longer rusty. Lessons from a Hall of Famer.
Well, you had it across the scene like this before, now you're here. Which is you learn in 2 days. You learned that already, so that's not really a problem.
And no more knocking on wood as aluminum bats arrive with mixed reviews. So stand by, one and all, because we're back for another season of This Week in Baseball. Brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's Miller Lite, less filling tastes great. Welcome, fans, to our first week. But before I speak, let's get a lowdown from Dr. Geek.
Good afternoon, fans. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to This Week in Baseball. Listen to the words of Dr. Geek. Welcome. Baseball is back this week. Now, I want to tell you about the Dodgers move. Somebody they got to help them groove. The Dodgers, you see, they made a move in a hurry. They got Willie Randolph and Eddie Murray. Now, they say the Padres are the team to beat. You listen to the words of Dr. Geek. Now, they made a move that should put them in first. They got Jack Clark and they got Bruce Hurst. Baseball's back, so let me speak. Dr. Geek, every week the ball will be fine, oh so to speak. Baseball back this week. Now, let me go ahead and tell you, can you be believing? Now the Rangers made a trade with Cleveland. Julio Franco had to go. No longer in Cleveland will they put on a show. Now, was that move wise as an owl? Cleveland got my homeboy, Oda B. McDowell, Pete O'Brien, downtown Jerry Brown. Ooh, that was a trade that wasn't messing around. Listen to me, folks, and that ain't all. In Texas throwing, yep, the fastball. Ryan's Express, and hey, I'm not lying. Better watch American League West for Nolan Ryan. You better be careful, my lips don't smack. But toss me the ball, cause baseball's back. The game that your fans, young and old, love. Baseball, yep, with a ball and glove. Now let me break it down, don't you understand? Now here's my man, now yep, it's grand. Now let me break it down for you baseball fans. Mel Allen, that's the man. That's it. Now bye, we love to speak, and welcome to baseball this week, yeah.
Thanks for the rep and also the intro. And now it's my turn to give baseball info, but with a different flow. In Vero Beach, Florida, it wasn't exactly spring training as usual for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh, my gosh.
Overwhelming, maybe, but this was a world championship team that wasn't even supposed to make the playoffs.
It was a year of greatness. Everybody, our ball players, all believed in themselves. It showed the world what you could do if you really want to achieve something in life. Our team of 1988 proved that it isn't always the strongest man who wins the fight or the fastest man who wins the race or the best team who wins the game. In most cases, it's the one who wants it just a little bit more than the next.
Even though the Dodgers won the World Series, they restocked the right side of the infield with veteran American League stars Baltimore's Eddie Murray and Willie Randolph from the Yankees. Still, winning the World Series all over again is a mighty tall order, especially after the unforgettable finish in Game 1 when the Dodgers found their own Hollywood hero in Kirk Gibson. Like Roy Hobbs in The Natural, Gibby won the game with a 2-out pinch hit homer in the bottom of the ninth, remember? All the more dramatic since he'd been sitting out the game with a bum leg.
And you're looking for Kirk Gibson. And there is no Gibson, the man who was the spearhead of the Dodger offense throughout the year, who saved them in the League Championship Series, will not see any action tonight for sure. He is not even in the dugout.
I pitched that day, and I was in the training room, and I had my arm in a bucket of ice. And he was sitting in there, and he had his legs strapped up to a machine, and his knees strapped up to another machine. And he said, I think I'm going to go out and pinch hit. I might get a chance. And I thought he was kidding. I said, there's no way. He can't even walk.
I doubt if he'd be up there to hit for Davis. I think that it'll be up to Davis to extend the inning to allow Gibson one last shot.
Woodson was standing next to me. Mike Davis was up at bat. Dave Anderson was on deck. Woody comes over to me and he says, hey, watch what happens if Davis walks. And I look out there and I seen Anderson and I go, Anderson own Eckersley or what? You know, what's going on here? What am I missing?
Andy Walker. And look who's coming up.
Even though, you know, I knew I had physical disadvantages, that when I stepped out of the dugout, I knew the crowd would give me a favorable reaction.
I was like, hurry up. You know, that's what it was all about. I mean, it's like, you know, it was L.A.
All year long, they looked to him to light the fire, and all year long, he answered the demands until he was physically unable to start tonight with 2 bad legs.
Everything that I had programmed myself for seemed to be falling in place, and I was very confident that and I could see myself doing the job.
Fouled away.
You saw how he swung the bat when he swung and missed and fouled those balls off, and I said, well, he has no chance. I said, he just can't get any leverage. He can't turn. If he does hit a ball, there's no way he'll ever be able to beat it out, which he tapped the ball foul down the first baseline, and fortunately it went foul because he just had no way to go.
Well, he almost has to talk to his legs and say, hey, let's go, we got to get out of here.
It's one thing to favor one leg, but you can't favor 2.
No way, and that's what he's trying to do. He really is.
He took the first few cuts against Eckersley, and he just looked like a newborn deer. And we're thinking, oh, this is a terrible decision. Tommy should never have him in there.
Gibson shaking his left leg, making it quiver like a horse, trying to get rid of a troublesome fly.
Let me tell you something. He doesn't hit with his legs. Gibby's a hands hitter. I said, those legs have nothing to do with him hitting here. I said, if Eckersley makes a mistake and he gives him something off speed, I said, those hands will show you what they can do.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
It was just amazing because he didn't have that good swing at that ball. You know, the only thing he did is he kept his hands back, and at the last minute, he just threw his wrist out there and broke his wrist, and it was just the natural. What a script, and it all ended up the way they would have planned it. I don't think you could have planned it any better than that. But it was thrilling. It was great for baseball. It really was great for baseball. It's just too bad that, you know, it came at my expense. That's how I feel about it.
And I got a lump in my throat. I mean, that's what you dream of as a kid, coming up in that situation, hitting the home run in front of your home fans. And, you know, I had a lot of respect for him and a lot of admiration and a lot of jealousy. I wish it would have been me.
But I can guarantee you there was nobody more excited on the face of the earth than I was. Everybody got to forget Jose Canseco's grand slam off of me.
Kirk Gibson comes up and hits a home run, I almost started crying. So, you know, it was myself, my wife, and a bunch of my family. Kirk Gibson hit the home run, and we were like this. And everybody else was jumping and clapping and everything. We were the only 5 people there sitting down there, not doing anything.
Don't you feel sorry for us? Let us win one time. Come on. You know, you can't break our young hearts like that.
You know, it's a moment that I certainly will never forget, or nobody will ever forget. And I thank the Big Dodger in the sky for choosing me to be the guy to be able to celebrate that moment for the rest of my life.
And now let's go to this week's quiz, brought to you by today's Chevy truck. While Gibson's homer may be one of the most celebrated series pinch hits ever, can you name the last player to have 2 pinch hit homers in a World Series? Spring is the time to work out the kinks, but it's also a chance for younger players to get some tips from the old pros.
You do the opposite infielder, which is the 2-play. You know, when you take your mask off and point like that, if we pick both sides, if we just kind of, you know, make it obvious, you know, both sides, then you just eat the ball.
Okay. But don't stand up here like this and then he's jockeying behind it, make your pitch, then you got your routine ground ball that goes in for a base hit, okay?
Any way you think the ball's going, any way you commit to, you're going to have to step that way. If you think the ball's in front of you, you're going to have to step that way because your feet are even. Whereas if they're like this, you can lean that way, but if they're even, you're going to have to take a step and then you're lost.
Yeah.
Okay, now once the swing starts, now I can come off of this. But I come off of it with my weight back here, and now I swing the bat, and as the bat head goes to the strike zone, the weight transfer from the back to the front. That's when I release the weight. The weight is not released until the back head releases the weight.
Because
in the Giants camp, Hall of Famer Willie Mays passed along a few pointers to converted left fielder Kevin Mitchell.
He's trying to teach me where to jump back off the fence and get my momentum going towards the plate once I get the ball. And get this elbow out of the way and let my back hit the fence. And once I hit the fence, get my momentum going back. Use the fence as a spring. Hit the fence and come off.
you don't need the fence, but you know where the fence is. That's number one. You know, you actually already got the fence. Now you're going up and down the line like you know where it is, so it's really no problem now, you know. Very good. Now, see, you got to be careful with that, see? I go this way, see? And then I go, see? You see the movement? It's like a ballet dancing, but you're going smooth. Well, see, I could do that without any problem. See, I never hit the fence. See, I go like this way, and then all it's set. Now here, I'm here. That's where it's supposed to go, real smooth. But the reason I put you on the fence, because you haven't been here before. In 2 years, you had this down without any problem. You know about this fence. No problem.
Well, that's one part of it. The other big adjustment for a third baseman making the switch to the outfield is learning to throw a whole different way.
Third base, you just got to get the ball and throw it. And that's basically what I'm used to doing. You know, just getting the ball with 2 fingers. Sometimes I throw with 3. It depends on how fast I have to get rid of the ball. Instead of in the outfield where I got time to do what I want to do with it and grip it right here, just like Willie showed me.
See, you got it here where it should be here. But you got it right now. Where you had it across the seam like this before, now you're here. Which you learned in 2 days. You learned that already, so that's not really a problem. But I got to give it to you so that you can feel it. Okay, that's better.
I had a little, like a little slider on my ball. It would tell, just like a pitcher would throw his slider, because I had it by the 2 fingers. And sometime I would get the ball, and I would grip the ball tighter with this finger. And that caused the ball to spin on me.
You don't want to throw the ball that goes this way into the runner. You want to throw it straight where it can skip right into the catcher.
Right.
So but see, if you throw it this way, like this, it's going to sail. If you throw it across the seam, it's going to go straight.
I tell you, it's an honor for me to have him come out there and work with me individually and really help me out.
I enjoy teaching a kid like that, especially if you want to learn. I enjoy that the most of all, I think. That's why I like spring training. Some kids want to learn and some don't, you know. So my feeling is that if a kid want to learn, I stay out here all day with him, you know. If he learns 1 or 2 things in the spring, that's going to help him play baseball.
Now, the answer to this week's quiz, brought to you by today's Chevy truck. Bernie Carbo is the last player to pinch hit 2 home runs in a World Series. It was against the Reds in the 1975 World Series. Sounds familiar. And so do the sounds emanating from ballparks east and west as major leaguers tune up for a brand new season.
We're back. I hope this is taped away. We're not late.
Ready! Begin! 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3, 3.
You just pull on your toes and then push and see how much stuff you can pull in here.
I don't use the word stretch in my vocabulary.
I feel good. I feel strong. I feel ready to play. Oh, got him again.
Hey, Jim, I told you to stay behind that screen, Jim Bob. Hey! Excuse me?
Woo! That's the way to swing that bat. That's the way to swing that bat.
Watch out. That's a hell of a job you got there, man.
Say, bro, what you looking at?
Looking good.
Look how far you hit that ball. All you did was this. You didn't realize it. All you did was that. That's all you have to do. Now you're getting this into your swing.
You're going to run in a running position with the ball down here.
That's to get momentum to where you can actually make that guy commit himself.
And you see that Ricky Anderson's already 3 steps around third base. But Mattingly's just trucking on around second. The throw's going to be going to third, and that's where you go.
George, we need pictures. Right. Get me one.
Some teams may not have gotten all they wanted, but it's an undeniable fact that in April, every team, promising or no, has high hopes.
Show me something, man. You show me.
Don't worry. Be happy. And in life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy.
All this and more on This Week in Baseball. Doop, 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 doop.
Thank you, sir. And now for sounds of spring that are materially different. These days, instead of getting wood on the ball, hitters may be swinging metal. As a one-year experiment, Major League Baseball has legalized aluminum bats. Putting such a weapon into the hands of some of the game's deadlier hitters could give new meaning to the word long ball, while turning the wooden bat into a relic.
Well, old buddy, I hate to part with you. You've been good to me all these years, but you know, there's someone coming in that's much better than you who's going to take your place. So, farewell. Hi, sweetheart. We're going to make beautiful music together this year.
I can't believe they finally did it. They went ahead and made the aluminum bat legal in professional baseball. I'll tell you what, it's going to kill the pitchers. That ball comes through the mound fast enough as it is. No more broken bats. They're going to all be base hits. I can't believe they did it.
The ball jumps off an aluminum bat. And from my experiences in high school and college, I know from using them and pitching against them, the ball gets on you very quick. We're very close to the hitter. And people like Winfield or Canseco or something like that hit a ball off you with an aluminum bat, you never have time to get your hands up. You never be able to protect yourself.
There's somebody on each ball club that's capable of hitting the ball real hard back through the pitcher's mound, and I tell you what, legalizing aluminum bats, we need to get more insurance.
I'm just going to bring a screen out with me and just pitch behind the screen, just like in spring training.
It's ridiculous. Matter of fact, I am mad. I can't believe they did it.
While pitchers are none too pleased, infielders are just plain fearful.
I play a little bit of third base, and I also do some catching. And I'll tell you, with the fact that the aluminum bats are allowed right now, I really don't want to play third base anymore.
When I get a guy like a big power-hitting left-hander like Dave Parker come up, we open up in Oakland, I'm going to be way out in the outfield because I'm not getting a ball hit at me.
Though 1988 was a pitcher's year, the new bat should make this season a hitter's dream.
Unbelievable.
We as a company are very excited because our business is going to really boom this year. We're the largest aluminum manufacturer in baseball bats. And for Major League Baseball, you're going to see a lot more home runs and higher batting averages. So we expect a lot of records to be broken in 1989.
I'm really excited about using these again. You know, back when we used them in college back in the 40s, you know, I had quite a few home runs with these things, and especially getting jammed with them when you hit them out. So it's going to be fun to get these things back in your hands. Looking forward to it. Listen to that. Hear that? I couldn't do that with a wood bat.
It's going to help my game tremendously because I have had over 580 warning track shots in my career. As a matter of fact, I need 2 more to break the record for most balls hit to the warning track.
I may hit 20 just over the roof in Tiger Stadium. I mean, I'm not going for home runs now, I'm going for distance.
I remember my old high school days when I was 17 years old. I can actually hit a baseball 700 feet with aluminum bat, so they're going to be pretty exciting to watch.
Everybody's going to say, who's that Ruth and Maris guy? Because I tell you, back in college, the aluminum bats, you get some cheap home runs. And right now, with the aluminum bats getting in baseball this year, I can't wait for those cheap home runs. And 60 home runs is going to be easy.
I might hit 600.
Think you'll hit a few more home runs?
I might hit 600. I meant home runs.
It's going to be a year of record setting, without a doubt about that. Using this aluminum bat is going to change everything that we know today as baseball history.
Predictions of all kinds are hailing the arrival of aluminum bats. So fans start thinking heavy metal and mark the date. Get it? Time now for our Player of the Week, brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Ken Griffey Jr., the Mariners' outfield phenom, is only 2 years out of high school. But he's making the jump from Double-A to the majors after a spring in which he had a club record 14-game hitting streak and a record 31 hits.
Fastball, and it is belted deep to right field. Lavelle Freeman to the track, the wall. Welcome to Seattle, Ken Griffey Jr.
Next week, This Week in Baseball presents pomp, pageantry, and highlights of opening day. That's all for now, folks. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.
Catch the action tomorrow at noon when the Detroit Tigers come face-to-face with the Boston Red Sox. And it's a look at the Wolverines' battle in Seattle for the National College Basketball Championship tomorrow night at 11:30 on Sports Final Edition with Scott Wally. Now stay tuned for the 1989 baseball preview with Marv Albert and Gail Gardner, next only on Channel 4.